Oh, welcome back to the DeathShifter Den. We've been expecting you. Ethan, hit us with that episode 1 recap.
Well, last episode, we left our dear protagonist Clay as a Port-O-Potty, surrounded by his new friends staring in awe. Is it a misfortune that he now exists in this state, or a blessing to have survived at all?
Indeed, Ethan. What are the social ramifications and nuances of life as a Port-O-Potty?
I'm just really intrigued to learn what challenges await our heroes. Will the friends still accept Clay as part of the Five?
So, are you dumbasses done with the pompous self-indulgence, or should I take a bathroom break?
Oh yeah. We have 2 more DeathShifter team members joining us today. Our narrator, Jordan,
Hello!
and the voice behind Cali, Tori.
What's up, you fucking shit stains?
We're glad to have the 2 of you joining us, but Tori, you don't have to be in character as Cali for this.
Who said I was in character?
Right. So, Jordan, what are you looking forward to in episode 2?
I'm definitely looking forward to find out if Clay stays a Port-O-Potty.
That was deeply insightful. I'm gonna have to ponder that for some time.
Alright, while you're busy doing that, Tori, what about you? Do you have anything else to add?
I cannot wait to see what kind of fuckery they get into this time.
Well, that was inspired. Sounds like we've got mail.
Thank you for accompanying us to the mailroom, which is just the other side of the DeathShifter Den. But anyways, let's jump into the emails we received this past week.
I'll read the first one from Freaky Fantasy 93. It says, as someone interested in writing fantasy, I was wondering how you guys came up with the world of DeathShifter.
I can take this one. Basically, Dakota came to us all one day with the idea for the main character, Clay, and we all sat around and brainstormed ideas until we landed on this variety of modern-day fantasy setting. It may not really be a satisfying answer, but it was as simple as shooting the breeze with friends and discussing creative ideas.
Jordan, you want to read us the second question from Meow With Me? And yes, that's with 2 H's.
Sure thing. Their question is, how many different races are there in your world?
The real question is how many races aren't there in our world?
What he means to say is that all of the different generic fantasy creatures are there, as well as others that we've created or combined together. So we can't really put a solid number on it, since new ones could show up at any time.
I'll read the last question from Jeffrey_Thomas_54. As a team member on DeathShifter, what has been the most fun to do so far?
I've had a share in it all, so it's hard to decide. I've enjoyed everything so far, but recording with everyone and creating the world has to be the most fun. What about you guys?
The recording sessions have been the most fun for me so far, for sure.
I've enjoyed that as well, but I think for me it would have to be the creative process of coming up with Callie's lines.
Recording is always a blast, but the initial read-throughs while writing the lines have been quite some fun too.
Definitely getting to read the lines to see what you guys come up with, or just getting to be me. But as Cali.
I've really enjoyed being the narrator and getting to do some additional voices. Just seeing where the story goes every episode is exciting.
Oh, it looks like that's all the time we have right now. Our death guide is coming to take us to the episode again.
Well, he better say something to the listeners this time.
Well, maybe if we tip better, he will. He did come all this way.
We tipped pretty well last time, and he left as soon as the episode was over.
You didn't have the 2 of us last time.
Yeah, plus he signed a contract with us. Episode 2, A New Purpose. Clay, now a Port-O-Potty with arms, legs, and a face, walks towards his friends, confused.
Why are you backing away from me? What's going on?
Wesley and the others stop and stand, staring at him.
Bro, I don't know how to put this, but I think you might want to turn around.
Clay turns around to see his human body squished into the ground, lifeless. He stands staring at it for a couple of moments. Herman walks over and stands next to him.
Holy Orkmas! He must have magic in him.
Before Clay can respond, Cali interrupts them.
Like, for real, are we sure there's no magic? Because that seems magical as fuck to me.
Clay moves his arms and legs, made from the same plastic and metals from the Port-O-Potty. He turns to Herman and Cali.
I still can't remember anything before meeting you guys, so this is a first for me too. I'm not sure why I didn't die from being smashed.
Barry moves closer and examines Clay.
Apart from the kind of terrifying eyes and limbs, you're identical to these other Port-O-Potties.
Wesley runs over excitedly and looks at the door where Clay's face is.
Anyone else wondering what's behind door number 1?
Before Clay can even respond, Wesley reaches forward and grabs the handle. He He pulls it open and loses his excitement while walking in.
Well, it looks pretty standard in here. Hey, Clay, I'm inside you, and I need a tinkle.
Clay shakes himself, causing Wesley to smack the walls around him.
Dude, you're not going to take a pee inside me. I can't believe I just said that. Get out.
Wesley laughs while jumping out of Clay towards some trees near the water. Barry walks over and closes the door for Clay.
Okay, no peeing in Clay. What the fuck? Even if this is magic, we'll figure something out. 5 forever, remember?
Herman laughs while looking at Cali.
This is awesome. I've never seen magic.
Clay looks down at his body, still squished in the ground.
I don't know if it is magic, Herm. Something about my body is weird, though.
Before he can say anything, Wesley yells.
Ah, damn treeple. Now my pork sword's unsheathed.
The trees he is about to pee behind stand up and move, leaving him with his pants down in the open.
Hey, man, we don't like to be peed on either.
Yeah, respect nature. Don't piss on it.
Clay laughs with Cali while staring at Wesley's ass.
Ah, look at the cute little dragon derriere.
Man, Wesley, what happened to dragons over the years?
Wesley mockingly laughs with them.
After the Fae took all of the magic in the world to stop the asteroid, everything changed. Most of the dragons went into hiding along with the treasures they hoarded during their lives. Those that didn't became malnourished and had to adjust. Over the years, we lost our enormous size and now stand only a little taller than humans. But we weren't the only ones to suffer. Every race struggled. But yeah, go ahead and laugh it up, assholes.
Herman stands next to Wesley, looking at everyone else.
Come on, leave Wesley alone. You know he doesn't like talking about this. Besides, he just turned into a Port-O-Potty.
Clay finishes laughing and looks back at his squashed body.
Oh, man, that was great. Anyways, if you look at my body, there's no blood on it. Besides being down in that small crater where I was struck, my body looks fine.
Wesley and Cali jump down into the small crater and get a closer look. Cali reaches down and lifts one of the arms.
It seems fine. I mean, his arm isn't broken or anything.
Wesley looks at Cali while grabbing the body.
Don't get any of your weird ideas. Just help me lift it out of the hole.
The two grab the body and carry it up the crater to Herman. He lies it down in front of Clay and Barry.
This feels nothing like Grandpa used to tell me about when I was little. He never said how creepy the eyes were.
Barry kneels and closes their eyes while placing a hand on the body's chest.
I can almost feel a heartbeat.
Clay tries to kneel but can't as a Port-O-Potty, so he stands behind Barry.
I don't know what any of this means. The guy I spoke with in that dream said something about being dead, but not really.
Herman chuckles with excitement.
Seems like it's more than just a dream. What else do you remember?
Before Clay can respond, a voice from the road yells down to them.
Hey there, is everything okay? Is your buddy alright?
Cali looks at her friends while smirking.
Don't worry about a thing. I got this. Eh?
As she's walking away, Clay yells to her.
See if they know why this happened.
Wesley laughs while watching Herman examine Clay.
Dude, Clay is not one of your science experiments.
Herman stops and takes a step back.
Sorry, it really is fascinating, though. How often do you get to see something like this?
Clay smiles through his mouth on the door of the Port-O-Potty.
It's okay, Herman. Can you take my body and put it in here? Feel free to examine what you can after that. Just let me know if you find anything.
Herman smiles wide while picking up Clay's body. He places it inside and closes the door behind him. He kneels and looks at the bottom of the Port-O-Potty. Cali gets back to the road and stands in front of the three Centaurs.
2 things. 1, who do you work for? And 2, where the fuck were you taking all these shitters?
One of the Centaurs steps forward with a look of guilt on his face. Before he can speak, the second Centaur grabs him and pulls him back.
No, Cloyd! We swore an oath of secrecy!
The third Centaur intervenes.
I'm sorry, Vloyd, but I'm with Cloyd on this one.
Vloyd lets go of Cloyd while looking into the last Centaur's eyes.
Fine, Dloyd, but you're the one that gets to tell Floyd that the secret is out.
Dloyd looks at Cloyd before staring back at Vloyd.
Well, what is it you don't tell us about these damn Port-O-Potties?
Cloyd turns to Cali.
Oh gee, I'm so sorry about this.
Cali sits on the ground.
Could have been worse.
Cloyd turns back to his brothers.
Enough. Tell us what the secret is, Vloyd.
Floyd takes a couple of seconds before sitting on the ground next to Cali. He puts his hands over his face in shame.
Our brother Floyd told me not to ask questions while being in the secret lab, but there was this werewolf that caught my eye. She was so beautiful. I had to talk to her.
Dloyd sighs while interrupting him.
Just tell us the secrets and spare the details no one wants to hear.
Cali scoffs.
Now, don't interrupt. That's rude.
Vloyd continues his story.
I went against what Floyd said to me, and I spoke to the werewolf. Her name was Frizelda, and we conversed for hours before she told me what they were working on. She explained that an anonymous person with a lot of money specifically requested these Port-O-Potties. She then said that her and the other scientists were handpicked because it was an important project. They were creating portals. These Port-O-Potties are portals to somewhere else in the world. They only work if someone goes inside and closes the door behind them.
Cali stands to her feet. She turns around to see Herman sticking Clay's body into the Port-O-Potty and closing the door behind him. She turns back to the Centaurs.
Well, fuck. And where exactly do these portals lead to?
Floyd looks to Cali while his brothers stand behind him in anger.
I was never told where they went, just that each of them went to a different place in our world. A faster way of travel. The scientists have been working on things like this to replace magic. This is the first time they've succeeded, though.
Dloyd grabs his brother's arm.
Our delivery's supposed to be in 30 minutes, and we can't be late, especially if what you say is true.
Cali laughs.
Well, I think it's true. Take a look and see for yourself.
She points down to Herman, Wesley, and Barry, opening and closing the door of the Port-O-Potty. Clay screams while his face swings back and forth on the door.
Cali! They lost my body!
Wesley yells with him.
He's lying. We didn't lose it. It just disappeared.
Cloyd looks at Cali and his brothers.
We better go down there and fill them in on the situation we have here, eh?
They nod in agreement before following him down to Clay and the others. Floyd explains everything and gets everyone on the same page. Barry looks at the Centaurs.
So basically what you're saying is that one of us needs to enter our friend Clay, the anthropomorphic portal gun Port-O-Potty, and shut ourselves in? Hold up, how do we know your wacky sci-fi Port-O-Potties didn't turn him into this in the first place? And why the fuck are you transporting tech like this so carelessly?
Dloyd nods his head.
One question at a time. To answer you first, yes, but we don't know what part of the world it sent your friend's body. It could be anywhere, including somewhere dangerous.
Wesley steps forward with a smile on his face.
Just tell me how to get back. I'll have no problem going to get Clay's body.
Floyd looks at Herman.
Orc, can you help us get the Port-O-Potty back onto the trailer? There is a setting inside of them that allows you to return after a time that you set. I'm guessing none of you did that when placing our friend's body inside.
They shake their heads no while Herman walks over to Clay.
This appears to be the only way to get your body back.
Clay smiles while being helped onto the trailer by Herman and the Centaurs.
We'll hitch a ride then. Everyone, get on. Wesley, hurry up and get my body back, please.
Wesley smirks while giving him the thumbs up.
Yeah, I got you, man.
He takes a step inside of Clay and nods his head. Herman sets the timer to 15 minutes and shuts the door before helping Cali and Barry onto the trailer. He smacks the back of the trailer, letting the Centaurs know they're ready. The Centaurs start running. Floyd turns to Dloyd.
I told you that you were going to be the one to do it. Call Floyd.
Dloyd takes a deep breath while pulling out his phone. He calls Floyd and places it on speaker.
Hello? Dloyd? Why are you calling me? The delivery is in 20 minutes. Did something happen?
Dloyd hesitates before speaking.
Oh, we are on schedule, sir. The delivery will be made in time, but there was a bit of a complication.
Floyd yells into the phone.
I am sorry, brother. It is my fault. I found out what the Port-O-Potties actually were.
Silence fills the air for a moment. Finally, Floyd responds.
Oh, yeah, I know. Frizelda told me right after she told you. Is that the problem? Because I don't care if you know. It was just easier for me not to have to explain it to you idiots.
Floyd looks at his brothers. Floyd decides to jump in.
The problem is, well, this is kind of weird, so just follow me, bud. Our trailer tipped, and one of the Port-O-Potties flew off, squishing this human on the side of the road, eh?
Floyd interrupts him.
That's horrible. This could drastically raise our insurance rates, and we cannot afford that.
Cloyd continues the story.
Well, here's the thing here, bud. He didn't die, but he just kind of turned into the traveling toilet that squished him.
Floyd laughs.
We really dodged a scandal there. Wait, so what is the problem then?
Floyd responds while looking at his brothers.
Well, you see, humans had some friends with him, and they thought it would be smart to store him inside the Port-O-Potty. And, well, when they shut the door without knowing what it was, the human's body got transported.
Floyd takes a deep breath and restrains himself from yelling.
Alright, no big deal. We're okay. What number is on the side of that Port-O-Potty? This could either be very simple or extremely hard depending on that number.
The Centaurs slam their hooves into the ground, causing the trailer to stop behind them. They detach themselves from it and walk to the back where the friends are. Cloyd steps onto the trailer and gets close to them. He looks at the Port-O-Potty that Clay transformed into.
It's number 7 there, bud.
Barry looks at Cloyd.
The hell? Why is that important?
Cloyd jumps off the trailer and walks back to his brothers. He yells back to Barry.
We're getting whatever information we can to help your buddy there, guy.
Barry turns to Cali and Herman.
I'm getting some bad vibes from these horse legs. Not sure we should trust them.
Cali agrees.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Barry, which is weird because I usually really enjoy centaurs, if you know what I mean.
Herman looks at Clay.
How about you? How are you feeling about this?
Clay looks at his friends as they drive down the road on the back of the trailer, surrounded by Port-O-Potties with portals inside them.
I don't trust them either, but something tells me that we need to see where these things are going and to who.
Cali, Barry, and Herman nod their heads while sitting back down around him. Cloyd, Dloyd, and Vloyd continue to speak with their brother Floyd on the phone as they pull the trailer behind them.
Number 7, you said? Oh, that's such a relief.
Cloyd smiles wide while yelling into the phone.
That is just so good to hear. Where does the portal go, though?
Floyd chuckles to himself.
It goes to a halfling city, Brightbark. They like to keep to themselves. We've recently just started speaking with them. They probably won't be thrilled that a body just showed up there, though. Who did you send in after it?
Floyd sighs in relief while looking at his brothers.
One of the humans' friends went in. A dragon named Wesley, I think.
Floyd stays quiet. Cloyd yells to him.
Floyd, are you still there, eh?
A fit of rage comes through the phone.
Literally, the only creature the halflings are terrified of. A fucking dragon. I know, they're not anywhere near the size they used to be, but still, a dragon? Shit. Someone needs to get in there and save him, and make sure that the human's body is retrieved unharmed too.
Floyd shuts the phone off and looks at his brothers.
We can get one of the other friends to go in that portal. It won't close with any of us inside.
The Centaurs stop the trailer again. Vloyd walks towards the friends alone.
The portal leads to the halfling city, Brightbark. Your friend Wesley will not be welcome there. The elf or Pixie has to be the one to go through to get them. Sorry, Orc, but the halflings aren't too fond of your kind either.
Herman snarls at Vloyd.
If my friends go, then I'm going too.
Floyd rolls his eyes before turning back around.
Do whatever you need to do, but we're getting to our destination either way. The buyer of these is expecting to have all 20 of them delivered.
Clay smiles at his friends.
I'll be alright out here. Go get Wesley and my body back before the halflings get him.
Cali, Barry, and Herman get ready to walk inside of Clay. As Herman reaches for the door, it swings open, hitting him in the face. He falls to the floor while Wesley steps out with Clay's body in his arms.
Yo, those half people know how to party. Oh, and they're cool with dragons now.
Herman smiles while Cali and Barry help him off the ground.
Of course you made friends with them, now that you're almost their size. Glad to see you took care of Clay's body at least.
Cali smirks while sitting back down.
Took you long enough. I was almost starting to worry.
Barry laughs while walking over to the top of the trailer. They yell to the Centaurs.
Hey, Hoof Bros, we got our boy's body back.
The Centaurs high-five, while Floyd looks at the time.
We have 10 minutes left, which gives us about 3 minutes to spare.
Cloyd and Dloyd smile with him as they continue to run down the street, pulling the trailer behind them. Cali points up towards the sky.
I have always wanted to visit Falfar, the skyscraper city.
Barry stands and looks up in amazement. Massive buildings built into mountains and trees stand hundreds of feet into the air. Some creatures fly above them, while various transport vehicles climb the towering structures.
We're dealing with some higher rolling portable toilet shoppers than I had imagined.
Herman gets excited, looking at the machines.
These are amazing. I can't believe we get to see them up close. Just look at the ingenuity.
Wesley sits next to Clay. He smiles while watching his friends.
I don't know how, Clay, but we always figured everything out before we found you. We'll figure this out too.
Clay looks over at him.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Do you think my life before meeting you guys was this crazy?
Wesley laughs.
I mean, we did find you passed out in a bush, so it seems like it was pretty fucking wild to me.
The Centaurs drive through Falfar and get to a mountain path that leads to a giant brick mansion. They stop in front of it and start unloading the Port-O-Potties. Dloyd looks at the friends.
This is where we'll be parting ways. We were ordered to deliver them to his front porch, then leave.
Herman jumps off the trailer and gets into his face.
You can't leave. You did this.
Floyd walks over and gets between Herman and his brother.
There is no need to fight. We cannot help you and your friends, Orc. I know nothing of the one that lives here, other than that they are wealthy and powerful. If you stay, then I suggest you be careful.
He walks away and continues to unload the Port-O-Potties. They get to the last one, Clay. He stands to his feet and walks off the trailer himself. Before he gets to the others, he stops and looks at the Centaurs.
I know it doesn't seem like it, but my friends and I know this wasn't your fault.
The Centaurs bow to Clay before running back through the mountain path. Clay looks at his 4 friends.
Thank you for sticking by me for this long, but you don't have to stay.
Wesley laughs while carrying Clay's body.
Screw that. You're one of us now. I know it's only been 2 days, but we've already been through so much with you, man. We're staying.
Cali laughs while standing next to Clay.
And look at that. On your second day, you are a part of a first for the group. Wesley and I actually agreeing on something.
Herman smiles while standing on the other side of him.
We got your back. 5 forever, remember?
Barry uses their wings to float above him.
This Pixie's ready to kick some rich guy ass.
Minutes pass by before the door to the house opens. A ghoul walks out and waves for them to come in.
Master VonVon will see you now.
Clay looks at his friends.
Another VonVon? And does no one care that I'm a walking and talking Port-O-Potty?
They shrug their shoulders while following the ghoul inside. Barry stops next to him.
No one's really fazed by weird shit these days. No pun intended.
Clay laughs while following behind his friends.
That makes things easier for me.
The 5 friends walk through the brick mansion lit by torches above bookshelves. They get to a giant room with a throne-like seat. A vampire in a long burgundy cape sits staring at them, holding an elaborate jeweled goblet, of which is hopefully red wine.
My children had a lot to say about the 5 of you. It appears there's much more to you, though, Clay.
Cali sits down in front of him.
Well, hello, Vlad. It's a pleasure to meet you finally. I've heard so much about you.
He smiles while welcoming the others over.
The infamous Cali. It is an honor to finally meet you. Vonnie has told me some remarkable stories about you.
Cali smiles while looking at the others.
Hear that, everyone? Even a family as prolific as the VonVons think I'm exceptional as fuck.
Vladimir looks around at the 5 of them.
I can see that being here is making you nervous. Please, what you have heard about me is mostly hearsay. You have to be tough to get where I am, and in doing so, you earn a reputation. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Anyways, you can call me Vlad, no relation. I'm excited to have some visitors.
Wesley stands and bows to Vlad.
Well, I must say, it's a huge honor to be here seeing your super secret lair.
Vlad erupts into laughter. Herman joins him before stopping and looking at Barry and Cali.
I'm glad he said something first. I thought it was a secret lair, too.
Barry rolls their eyes before looking at Vlad.
Thanks for having us, Vlad. What are you doing up here instead of the castle?
Cali joins in.
Seriously, though, that castle is bitchin'! We were just there playing Rain of Fire, 3 sheets to the wind.
He smiles while standing from his throne-like chair.
Sometimes I need a vacation away from my family, the city, and that tournament. Being the mayor is a lot tougher than it seems. Some days I miss running the mafia.
Clay looks around at the different books on the shelves.
That explains all these books and the portals that got delivered. You're tired of just reading about the crazy adventures, and you want to go and experience them yourself?
Wesley looks at Clay.
Well, I gotta say, going through the portal to Brightbark and partying with the halflings was pretty sweet.
Vlad walks out of the room and stands in the hallway.
Follow me. I have something to show you.
They follow Vlad out of the room and through the hall. They return to the front door where his butler stands.
Stay safe, sir. I will prepare dinner for you and your guests.
Vlad waves his hand at him.
Thank you, but no need. We'll be taking them back to the castle. I have some business that I need to tend to in the city. Stay as long as you like before heading home.
The butler bows to him before walking back into the house and closing the door. Vlad stands in front of a Port-O-Potty with the number 1 on it.
This will take you back to the castle mansion. You can stay there or leave and go home. I only ask that Clay comes with me to see some of my science friends. They may have answers for you.
Cali stands next to Clay with her arms crossed.
Nope, fuck that. Wherever Clay goes, we go. Tell your scientist buddies if they don't like it, they can suck my dick.
Herman stands next to her looking at Vlad.
That's right. They can suck all our dicks.
Vlad laughs while turning and opening the door to Port-O-Potty number 1.
Such spirit. You know I am a very powerful vampire, right?
Wesley and Barry step forward and stand with their friends.
Oh yeah? Well, we ain't lacking in the power department either, bub.
We can show you if you'd want.
Vlad scoffs.
I'm trying to be your friend here. Fine, you can all come, if that is what Clay wants.
Clay looks at them before turning back to Vlad.
Wherever I go, they go.
Vlad closes the door to the Port-O-Potty and walks over to the next one with the number 2 on it.
This one will take us straight to the science lab. The location is a secret, so don't ask any of the scientists about it. Stay close to me and we'll see if they know anything about Clay.
They all agree. Vlad sends Cali and Barry through first, followed by Herman, then Wesley and Clay's body. Vlad turns back to Clay and looks behind him at his butler holding a sledgehammer.
It is a shame that it had to be this way. I'll have my scientists just make another portal. As for you, Clay, if my theories are correct, then you and I will be walking through the portal together.
The ghoul butler throws the sledgehammer to Vlad. He catches it and swings it around before striking Clay and breaking apart the Port-O-Potty. Before he can muster up any words to scream, he gets whacked again and goes unconscious. Clay hears the same static noise as before as the world around him turns into the same dark room he went into the last time he died. The green and gray lights turn on and reveal the hooded figure standing over him. The hooded figure turns the TV off and looks down at Clay.
That was quicker than I thought it would be. What got you this time?
Clay stands to his feet and hears the bubbling noise coming from underneath the hooded figure's robe. He looks at him, confused.
What got me this time? You mean what killed me?
The robed man starts to cough as smoke trickles out of his hood.
Was it something more exciting than a porta-potty?
The man starts to laugh as smoke pours out of the hood. Clay walks over to him.
A sledgehammer smashed me to pieces this time. Who and what are you? Why am I here?
The man removes his hood, revealing his decrepit face again.
A sledgehammer is a bit better. About your questions, though. I am your death guide, and my name was Garrett, or Fred, or maybe it was Gavin. I don't remember anymore. Just call me DG, and you're here with me because this is where you come when you die. You get to hang out with me until your next body is ready for you.
Clay sits down on the ground in front of DG.
So I am dead right now.
DG shakes his head.
From what I understand and remember, yes, but not entirely. It has been a very long time since I did this. Something happened, and we were separated along with your other friend.
Clay looks around the room to see just him and DG.
My other friend? You and I have met before this?
DG gets a nervous look on his face. He puts his hood back on.
I wasn't alone before. There were other death guides like me. I'm sorry, I don't remember anything else. All I know right now is that if you die, you turn into whatever killed you. You stay that way until something else kills you, and every time you die, you stop by here to see me.
Clay looks down to see his hands starting to fade away.
Wait, DG, how do I get back into my regular body?
DG sits there quietly as smoke starts to trickle out of his hood again. Clay completely fades away and returns to the normal world. He opens his eyes to Vlad, staring at him.
Ah, I see I was correct. You become whatever kills you. Fascinating.
Clay looks down to see that he is now the sledgehammer that Vlad used to smash him to pieces.
This is insane. You said your scientists might have some answers, right?
Vlad nods his head with a giant smile on his face.
I believe they are the most qualified to look into your condition, yes. I promise they won't do anything too intrusive, and especially not without your consent.
Clay, as a sledgehammer, walks into the Port-O-Potty with a number 2 on it and watches as Vlad follows him. He shuts the door and the 2 disappear into the portal. A couple of seconds pass by and they sit inside of a white room. The door opens and Clay's friends run inside. Wesley looks to Vlad.
What the hell did you do to Clay?
Cali gets in Vlad's face.
I swear to Cthulhu, if you don't fix Clay, I'm gonna fix your fucking face.
Clay walks over to them as a sledgehammer and smiles.
Whoa, everything is all right. Yes, Vlad did this, but he knew that I was going to be okay. Because of him, we were able to figure out that I become whatever kills me when I die.
Barry starts to laugh while approaching him.
No way. This is some magical bullshit.
Herman, who is on board with it being magic, steps in front of Barry.
I don't think it is anymore. Just look around at all this equipment. Science might be the explanation.
Cali moves away from Vlad and stands next to Barry.
Science, magic, call it whatever you fucking want. This shit is nuts.
Vlad makes his way to the open door. He stops and looks back at the friends.
I know it looks bad, but I am on your side. My scientists will tell us anything we need to know.
He turns back around and walks into the main room. Science equipment sits all over the floor, all the way up to the ceiling. A male harpy in a lab coat walks out from a small metal room holding a silver necklace with 2 small onyx serrated daggers crossing at its ends. He sees Vlad and places it down on the counter before walking over and hugging him.
It's a surprise to see you here at such an hour. Is everything all right?
Vlad smiles while placing his arm around the scientist.
It is always a pleasure to see you, Leroy. Everything is fine. I have some friends that I would like you to meet.
They turn to see the friends standing in the white room staring at them. Leroy stops and points.
You 4 are the friends that we're with. It can't be. The sledgehammer must be Clay Traitor.
He runs into the room with Vlad following behind him. Herman, Wesley, Cali, and Barry step in front of Clay. Vlad laughs while grabbing Leroy's arm.
Okay, everyone, take it easy. Leroy, I brought them here as friends. They need our help in understanding what's going on with Clay.
Clay walks forward as the sledgehammer and looks into Leroy's eyes.
You know something about me that we don't. What is it?
Wesley picks up Clay's body and walks over to him and Leroy.
We're smarter than we look. We know you and your science pals have been spying on us.
Barry pushes Herman forward and stands next to him.
Yeah, you better answer him unless you want your pretty little lab to get ugly.
Herman laughs.
You guys are just scientists. Are you sure you want to tango with us?
Leroy starts to laugh with them before walking over to a table with a machine on it.
There is no need for any violence. Yes, we were following you, but that is because we saw Clay lying in that bush for over a week. We were studying him for science. He had to be in some sort of coma. Eventually, we watched the four of you find him, and he woke up.
Clay walks over to Leroy and sits down on the table.
Was there anything else that you saw?
He turns and looks at the counter where he placed the necklace. It's gone.
There was this piece of jewelry that I found near the bush, but it appears to be gone now. It was silver and had some sort of serrated dagger at the end of it.
Clay shrugs his shoulders while looking at his friends.
Doesn't sound like anything that we've seen the past 2 days.
His friends nod their heads while joining him at the table. Cali looks up at Leroy.
So, what is it you can do for our friend exactly?
Herman gets excited.
I can't wait to see how some of this equipment works.
Vlad walks over to the friends and puts his hand out towards the door.
The time has come for you to leave and let Leroy examine Clay. You can wait in the white room.
Wesley grabs Clay's body and stands with his friends.
Dude, did we fucking stutter? We're not leaving our friend.
Herman grinds his teeth while looking down at Vlad.
Apologies for the inconvenience, but we aren't going anywhere.
Leroy laughs while laying Clay down on the table.
It's okay. Glad I work better with an audience anyways. I'm just gonna put Clay on the table here and...
Before he can finish his sentence, the table Clay is on starts to rumble, along with his body in Wesley's arms. Wesley can't hold on and drops his body onto the ground. They all watch as it flops around on the floor like a fish before abruptly stopping at Leroy's feet. He reaches down and flips Clay's body over to find the silver necklace sitting on his chest. It starts to glow blue just as Clay hops off the table. As he walks closer, it gets brighter and begins to float in the air. In the blink of an eye, the two onyx serrated daggers shoot at Clay, piercing into his sledgehammer body. He looks around at his friends, trying to keep his eyes open. Barry runs over and holds him in their arms.
Oh no! He was so young!
Leroy and Vlad watch closely as Clay's body starts to move. Cali, Herman, and Wesley notice, but let Barry mourn the loss of the sledgehammer. Clay stands to his feet and looks down at Barry crying.
Barry? If you want, I can get you a sledgehammer of your own.
Barry looks up and throws the hammer to the side before standing up and hugging Clay.
Don't scare me like that, you tool.
Clay laughs while turning and looking at Leroy and Vlad.
Did the two of you know about the necklace changing me back?
They both shake their head, while Leroy sits in disbelief.
What kind of science can explain this?
Vlad smirks while looking over at him.
The incredible kind. I want you to continue studying him, but don't do anything without mine or his consent.
Clay reaches over to the sledgehammer and pulls out the necklace. He puts it around his neck as it flashes blue one more time.
I have no idea what this is, but it clearly has something to do with who I was before waking up in the forest. It also appears to be what I need to revert back into my body after being killed by something.
Wesley walks over to him and eyes him up and down.
Yeah, but how do we know that's true?
Clay looks around to the others, and they all shrug their shoulders. Cali walks over to Leroy.
So, Leroy, is there anything in there that would, well, fuck him up?
Clay nervously sits back down on the table.
Okay, let's not get psycho about this. It's still for science, right?
Herman laughs maniacally while grabbing a laser gun that Leroy and the other scientists made.
Don't worry, I want to do an experiment of my own. This will be quick and painless.
Clay takes a deep breath.
I don't know if I want to do this. What if I just got lucky the first 2 times? Guys!
Herman continues to smile while pulling the trigger. A laser shoots out of the gun, going straight through Clay's head. His body goes limp and falls back on the table. They watch as the wound disappears from his body. A couple of seconds pass, and the laser gun jumps out of Herman's hand. It turns and looks up at everyone.
It still hurts, Herman. Now where's that necklace?
The necklace flashes blue around the neck of Clay's limp body. It flies off and pierces the gun with the onyx daggers. Clay's body springs back to life while the necklace floats back over to him. He grabs it and puts it back around his neck.
Well, I guess we can all agree that it works now.
Wesley walks past Herman while smacking him on the ass.
Good game, bud.
Cali smiles at Vlad.
If you can do that, maybe you could do something for his memory, too.
Vlad laughs while looking at Leroy.
I don't believe we have anything that could help with that, but my professional recommendation would be to trust Leroy and ease up on the rain of fire.
Leroy turns to her and shakes his head.
I am sorry, but our findings for that research was revoked. We haven't been able to finish any of the serums we were working on.
Barry walks over and looks at him.
Who wouldn't want to fund a project like this?
Vlad interrupts them.
Unfortunately, some things must remain confidential. You and your friends have learned much today. No one else knows about my portals, and I want to keep it that way. So, if you and your friends cooperate with Leroy and me, we can work something out for you to use them.
Clay walks over and stands in front of his friends while staring at him.
Be honest with us, Vlad. What do you really want from us?
Vlad walks over to the window of the white room and places his hand on it. A screen pops up with a picture of a massive wall going so high into the sky that it hits the clouds and disappears.
As I said before, being mayor of our great city is a difficult job. There are still people who hate what we've done. Bringing the different races and creatures together to live in harmony is still a difficult concept for many in our world to get behind. We were able to convince the halflings to join the community finally. Thought it was ruined when Wesley was the one to retrieve your body. As it turns out, his charisma and charm led to the halflings accepting a dragon into their home. Not only would you, Clay, be a huge asset to our team with your unique gift, but each one of you has their own unique talents that they bring to the table. I'm not extending this invitation to join me as an employee, but as an equal. You and your friends have shown us enough in the past 2 days. The things we could accomplish together, our world, not just our great city, could be a better place for every creature out there.
Cali takes a step back while looking over at Barry.
Well, that's a new take. Most vampires prefer to just suck the life out of everyone in any way they can. Besides the right way.
Cali winks at Vlad. He laughs while sitting in front of the white room.
Most of us thrive off that, but I was able to see a different path. One that keeps me away from other sentient creatures' blood. Once I did that, everything was clear to me. Things I did in the past were behind me, and I became a revamped vamp.
Barry places their hand on Clay's back.
This one's on you, you undead weirdo. Whatever you decide, we'll back your play.
Clay nods his head before walking over to Vlad.
We accept your offer. My friends and I will do everything we can to make this world a better place. Just point us in the right direction.
Leroy claps his hands behind Vlad.
This is so exciting! And here I thought that this was going to end badly when you showed up in our lab.
A centaur wearing a lab coat comes running into the room. Vlad looks at him.
Floyd, what's going on? You know we don't run in the science lab.
Floyd catches his breath.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry, but I have an important message. My brothers, Cloyd, Dloyd, and Vloyd, were leaving Farfar and got ambushed by the wizards.
Vlad gasps while looking at Leroy.
You told me that our scouts saw the wizards in their hideout near the crumbling rock bridge.
Leroy searches around for his phone while yelling back to Vlad.
No, this can't be. Perry and Larry were just there. Damn it, where is my phone?
He finds it and immediately calls Larry and Perry. After a couple of rings, Larry answers.
I'm sorry, boss, but the wizards tricked us. They were never in their hideout. It was a setup. You have to get to Vlad's brick mansion.
The phone hangs up, leaving Leroy staring at Vlad.
The wizards can't get their hand on these Port-O-Potties. We can't have them spreading around rumors that magic has returned to the world. Science cannot be mistaken for magic any longer.
Vlad turns to Clay and his friends.
Can the 5 of you assist me in battle?
Cali smiles wide while turning to Clay.
Oh man, I can barely remember the last time I threw hands. It must have been way back when I had to save everyone's ass during the Battle of Wolfwood, but I'm down.
Clay looks to the others.
I apparently can't die, so it's up to you guys.
Wesley smirks while his wings rip through the back of his shirt.
Let's go, boys. And Cali and Barry. I'm ready to reenact these old war stories my grandpa's been telling me about.
Barry stands proud next to Cali.
Oh, snap, Cal. Time to show off those moves you taught me. I may not know karate, but I know Kalise. Ha!
Herman takes off his glasses and puts down the book he found at Vlad's brick mansion.
Yes, I can finally show you guys that I'm not a wuss. I'm gonna crack some wizard skulls.
Clay smiles while looking back at Vlad.
We're ready to go.
Vlad smiles back while changing the screen on the window to his brick mansion.
Let's go kick some wizard ass.
The 5 friends follow Vlad into the White Room. Leroy walks over and places his hand on the door.
I'll be watching from the lab. If reinforcements are required, I'll send them.
He shuts the door, causing the White Room to flash, blinding everybody inside. A couple of seconds pass, and they open their eyes to the living room of the brick mansion. Vlad's butler stands looking at them.
You said that you weren't returning tonight, sir. I will go and prepare dinner.
Vlad grabs his butler and pulls him to the ground.
We're not here for dinner. The wizards are closing in on us. Go into the bunker and wait for me to call you.
His butler nods his head before running out of the living room and down the hallway. Vlad turns to Clay and his friends.
Don't let their old age blind you from what they truly are. The wizards have used science to extend their lifespans in the hopes that magic would one day return. They are cunning and treacherous, spreading lies to turn the different races and creatures against one another. Treat them as you would any other enemy.
Clay nods his head while turning to his friends.
We need a strategy here like we did in Rain of Fire. Cali, Barry, the 2 of you can take the high ground behind Herman, Wesley, and me. I saw some weapons in Vlad's armory while we were there earlier.
Wesley pats him on the back.
Sick, bro. Put me in the front lines with a thick-ass orc and a dude that can't die.
Clay punches him on the arm.
You're a fucking dragon, Wesley. Act like one.
Herman laughs while running past him into Vlad's armory. A couple seconds pass, and he runs back out, holding 3 swords. He hands one to Clay and Wesley while keeping one for himself.
Act like the dragon you are, or tuck your tail and get to the back.
Barry runs back out with 2 bows and quivers full of arrows.
I got your bow, Cali. OMG, I'm so amped to finally get to kill shit with you.
Cali smiles while grabbing one of the bows from Barry.
Oh, well, you know what they say. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The moral of the story, I take all the shots and never miss. Let's fucking do this.
Clay slices the sword back and forth in front of him.
So, are we going out there and killing these wizards, or...?
They all turn and look at Vlad. He nods his head.
Fuck yes, we are. The wizards are no longer like you or me. Their ancient minds are corrupted and must be disposed of.
Clay turns back to the others and shrugs his shoulders.
I mean, he is the mayor of our great city, right?
Cali, Barry, Herman, and Wesley nod their heads and accept the decision to fight and kill the wizards. Just as they start to walk to the front door, a loud thud bangs against it, followed by a female's voice. We know that you're inside, Vlad. It's finally time for us to talk. Vlad stands to his feet and nervously looks to the others.
Shit! The wizards are working with witches! I never thought I'd see the day.
Barry moves closer to the door.
So, what do we do?
Vlad follows and stands at the door. He takes a couple of seconds before opening it to a small green witch floating on a broom in a black dress.
Cassandra, so good to see you again. How long has it been?
Cassandra flies into the brick mansion, shutting the door behind her. It's been over 300 years, Vlad. Look, I know you haven't wanted to see me because of everything that happened back then. I didn't come here because of that. I came here because I want this to end peacefully between you and the wizards. Vlad scoffs while the others take a seat and watch.
Why would you even care about what happens to the wizards and me? Oh, wait. No, please don't tell me. You're with Malachai?
Cassandra floats to the floor and gets off her broom. You have no right to judge. You abandoned me all those years ago and left me to the werewolves. Luckily, they were nicer than you. Yes, Malachai and I have been together for about 100 years now, and even though you're an asshole, I don't want you to die. Just let Malachai have the book. Please, Vlad. Vlad walks over to the couch and sits down.
Even if I wanted to give you the book, Cass, I cannot. The book is gone. I gave it to someone to hide years ago. There's no way the wizards or anyone else is going to find it. Go back outside and tell Malachai that if he wants to go on a wild goose chase, he can. Otherwise, there's nothing here for him.
Cassandra gets back on her broom and flies out the door. Barry closes it behind her. Herman stands and looks at Vlad.
This is all over a book?
Cali joins in.
Ugh, you have got to be kidding me. A fucking book? I would hate to see what would happen if something of actual significance was involved.
Vlad nods his head.
It's true. They're after a book I discovered years ago, written from an ancient banshee that saw everything that went down the day magic and the Fae disappeared. It's called A Song of Fire and Ice Cream. Get it? Ice Cream, because banshees.
Wesley jumps to his feet.
Wait, is that the actual title of the book? And do you actually know what happened way back in those ancient times?
Vlad laughs.
Yes, I'm afraid that is the full title. I wish I knew what happened. I tried to have my scientists decipher the language, but only a banshee can read the text. And from my understanding, they are no longer any of them alive.
Barry thinks before yelling to everyone.
Hold up, that's inaccurate. My people have told stories about a lone banshee survivor in Flippy Dip Forest for generations.
Vlad runs over to them and gets in their face.
Are you kidding me? I searched hundreds of years trying to find one. When were we told these stories?
Barry smiles back at him.
I was super small, so like 20 years ago?
Another loud thud bangs on the door.
Cassandra told me what you said, Vlad. Open the door and let's discuss without all of the unnecessary bloodshed.
Vlad looks to everyone while reaching for the door.
Ready yourselves. Malachai is a mischievous old fart.
Vlad opens the door to a bluish-green elderly man with a white beard and a pointy hat on his head. He walks in and stands in front of Vlad.
I see you're looking old as ever, my friend.
Malachai laughs while slowly walking toward the couch. He sits down and pats the cushion next to him.
300 years later, and you're still an ungrateful shithead. Make this easy for everyone and put the book in the hands that it should be in.
Vlad laughs while sitting down next to him.
Oh, yeah, because the book should be in the hands of senile fanatics that spend every day trying to bring magic back to the world. Move on. Everyone else did.
Malachai laughs while looking at Clay and his friends.
You have an interesting group here with you. Were they the ones that were going to fight with you tonight? They must be pretty impressive if you think they can fight off wizards and witches.
Vlad stands and gets ready to speak, but before he can say anything, Clay jumps in front of him and bows to Malachai.
It's a pleasure to meet you, but intruding into someone's house and demanding something makes you the shithead. So, I suggest that you leave at once or suffer a defeat from us.
Malachai erupts into laughter while standing to his feet.
You clearly don't know who I am, boy, so I'll let it slide this time. But if we meet again, you and your friends won't be so lucky.
He makes his way back to the front door and opens it. Hundreds of wizards and witches float outside, waiting for him. He stops in the doorway and looks back at them.
Watch your back, Vlad. My disciples are everywhere.
The door closes behind him. They watch through the windows as the wizards and witches fly away on brooms and staves. Clay turns to Herman.
I thought you said all of the magic was taken from our world. How are they able to fly like that, then?
Herman's eyes get wide while he smiles.
With science! Over the years, our scientists and engineers developed technology that would act as the magic in our world.
Cali walks over and opens the door. She watches as they fly high into the sky, disappearing.
Anyone else feel like technology is catching up to magic at too fast of a rate to understand the repercussions, or is that just me?
Cool. What could possibly go wrong?
Wesley sits back on the couch.
It's like I said earlier when you guys were trying to give me shit. Once magic disappeared, we all suffered, and technology had a big part to play in that.
Barry walks over and sits next to him.
It's true. Many races have suffered because of it in their own way. The important thing is to remember we're all in this together.
Vlad joins them and sits down.
It warms my cold, undead heart to hear you say this. Our main goal here is to thrive and grow together, not fighting each other for knowledge or power. We can share all of it.
Clay stands behind them and looks out the front door.
Will we share it, though? If we find this book and figure out a way to read it, should we share it with everyone? What if it does bring magic back to our world? Would it even fit anymore? Or would it cause more chaos?
Cali shuts the door and looks to her friends.
Okay, I think that this is a discussion for a post-bowl session in Brewski's after a game of Rain of Fire.
Vlad stands to his feet and clasps his hand into a fist.
Things will be different this time. I'm sending the four of you to see my friend Paul. He's an ancient that will be helpful in this matter. Let's move quickly and get you back to the science lab.
Vlad runs to the front door and points towards the Port-O-Potty with the number 2 on it.
Take portal number 2 back to the lab and inform Leroy that I told you to go and see Paul. He will know what to do.
Herman looks back to Vlad as they run for the portal.
What are you gonna do? You sure you don't need our help?
Vlad smiles while looking for his butler.
We're going to secure these portal potties in a better spot in the Brick Mansion. It is of utter importance that the 5 of you make it to Paul.
Herman nods while following his friends into the Port-O-Potty. He shuts the door behind him. Vlad's butler makes his way out of the bunker and to the front porch with Vlad. The two of them start lifting the Port-O-Potties one by one and placing them into different rooms in his brick mansion.
ride.
Yeah, what an unlikely turn of events.
First a Port-O-Potty, then a sledgehammer, and a laser gun? What is Clay going to turn into next time?
I can't wait for the next episode. I think I read something about mermaids.
Tori, you're not supposed to give away spoilers. Well, but since you already did, yes, there are mermaids in the next episode.
Yeah, but they're called something way cooler than mermaids. Anyways, we want to again thank Anchor for giving us an easy and reliable place to make our podcast. They also distribute it to different platforms for all of you to listen in, which is awesome. And lastly, remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or just go to our website at www.deathshifter.com. You'll find all of the links there as well as down below in the episode description. If you're interested in supporting us and gaining access to exclusive trailers, bonus episodes, and more, check out patreon.com/deathshifter. Death Guide, you want to say anything?
Damn, how'd he leave without us knowing?
Yeah, I didn't think getting him to talk would be such a hassle.
He's a shifty one.
Something tells me we need to set something up for him to stay next time.
Ooh, like milk and cookies for Santa.
Yeah, maybe something more death guidey though.
Let's figure it out without keeping everyone here. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Stay safe out there, and
don't forget to tip your death guide.